We're here at the Maryland Regional Xanadu Games at Laurel Park with
Kyle Beggs.
And what'd you do today, man?
I got top 8 with Orcust.
Holy shit. How do you feel, man?
I've played this game competitively for 12 years, and I've never gotten my top 8 until today, and I'm extremely happy with myself. I'm also extremely tired.
I bet, man. All right, that's awesome. You want to get into the list?
Yeah, so I actually want to explain a bit about how I came up with this idea.
Yep.
So I played a similar idea at the ARG Invitational that I got top 16 with. Obviously that had like Rusty Bardish and everything, and I had the sub cards out to make it not bad anymore. And I was trying to like figure out what to do. I was having trouble like I was playing Mathematician, so it was like really heavy on normal summons. And I just couldn't deal with Disruption really anymore. The boards felt really weak. And then like at the UDS Invitational, someone, I think it was like Robert Kenny, got top 16 with like a 60 card build. And one of the things he played was Cherubini with Carbonedin. And then like in the process of doing everything, I was like trying to put in more level 3 extenders, and then I realized that I was playing enough of them that if I ended on 3 of them, I would just I would make Cherubini, make the full Ib combo, and then I would just go into Appaloosa from there.
Great.
So I firmly believe it was the best deck in the room.
Also,
Call by the Grave sucks. I didn't play it at all. Basic gist. I've said this many times, but if any hand where you have Call by the Grave, unless their card is Lancia, you can probably push through it with another extender. And I'm not going to play Call by the Grave for 1 card.
Got it.
I did not miss a card at any point at all today.
Awesome, man. All right, we're ready to get into it.
Yep. So Orcust cards, 3 harp.
Yep.
Shout outs to Peter for letting me use one of the 3 harps, because I didn't want to play 1 rare. 2 nightmare, 1 symbol, 1 world wand, 1 world chalice. This is the best thing to summon off of Ib because it's a dark machine, so it naturally synergizes with the deck. You can search World, Legacy, World Wand, or Succession. Its on-field effect, when backed up by Dingirsu, is actually extremely relevant. I beat a lot of people just by like having this and Dingirsu on the board, and they couldn't summon anything from the extra deck without it going away. It being level 5 is actually really relevant, which I'll bring up later. And that's all the Orcust cards. So the like centerpiece of like this entire idea was Mecha Phantom Beast Lion. This card's insane. If you open this with any level 3 monster, you make Ib, you generate a token, you get so much advantage off of this card that it's just absolutely wild, just drawing it. So like literally like this and just about every other level 3 in the deck will get you a full combo. So Scrap Recycler, just send any Orcust to the graveyard. And it works off of Special Summon, which is really huge for reviving off of Succession. So this is where like a lot of the idea, this is where like when I came up with this idea, it started to just work really well. It's 3 Junk Forward and 3 Marauding Captain. Basically the same idea with, I wanted to have extenders that worked with both of these cards, and that's what I didn't like with Mathematician, is that it worked with a Lion, but it didn't work with Scrap Recycler, so drawing them together was really bad. So obviously Junk Forward special summons itself if it's your first summon, and then Marauding Captain, he's a bit more fragile because he does use up your normal summon, but if he doesn't get negated, you either summon Lion and then do the Ib combo, or you summon Scrap Recycler and then send Lion. You have 3 level 3s, which lets you do the whole share of mini play. So Marauding Captain actually bit me in the ass in the last round. These are Hobby Leagues, and I just ordered them, but I guess they were warped enough to be considered marked. So them, along with the Hobby League Rhoda I'm also playing, got me a game loss in the last round, but I ended up winning game 3. But moving forward, I would obviously not play these because they're marked, or considered marked. That being said, I probably just will cut Marauding Captain in general, just because him being negated was actually extremely relevant, and I can probably play other level 3 extenders that are just as good. So yeah. And those are all the 3 ofs that are non-Orcust. 2 of each of the good dangers, so Nessie, Jackal, and Tsuchinoko. These are all really broken still. They extend plays, they draw you cards. These work with Lion. These get you to the cards that work with Lion. I would just definitely never cut these. I think the best deck in the game will be anything that abuses the hell out of these, for as long as they're at as much power as they are. 2 Psychic Wielder. So this was a last minute addition. I had 3 extra slots, and I just wanted another level 3 extender, and I was considering Defrag Dragon, but I don't like that card costs another card in your hand, because the one thing about this deck is that its hand drains really quickly. So I wasn't liking Defrag Dragon because of that. But Psychic Wielder, as long as you open one of the like 10 other level 3s in the deck, this is just a free inherent special summon. It being a tuner is relevant because of the World Chalice. There's actually several times today where I ibbed, used it as material, summon the World Chalice, summon the Wielder to make Borlo and Savage Dragon that way. And that's why I played 2 of these instead of 1-1 with Tracker. I might consider playing just like keeping these in and cutting and playing 1 Tracker just for another extender, especially if I cut the Marauding Captains. Yeah, this was really good for sure. Its second effect, where it pops a card, didn't come up because I never used it during second, but it was insane. It's just another extender.
To make the Savage pop a card, right?
Yeah, it's if you use it as a synchro material, you can target one monster on the field whose attack is less than the attack of the monster you summon. So in the case of Laurel Savage, 3,000, which is most things in the game.
Or higher if you chain the effect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I would chain block with because I would use it to chain block though with Savage and then like chain this so Savage can't be Ghost over, but it never came over there. But it's an option that's there.
Excellent.
And then one of Terratop and Tomborg. I drew this a lot more than I thought I would. This card is absolutely nuts if you open with it, obviously. It's 2 free level 3, so your entire game goes off there. Taka Tomborg's not terrible to draw, just because you have a lot of ways to put wind monsters on the board. If you draw this with a lion, you can summon the lion and special summon Taka Tomborg. If you have a way to dump a lion to the graveyard to make a token, you can special summon Taka Tomborg. So this card's really not that dead of a draw. Jet Synchron. This is useful both for like clearing up hands that are clogged, and also if I'm doing a play where I want to make Borlo Savage Dragon, but I can't get the right material unless I use like Nightmare and this. It doesn't come up all the time, but I think it comes up enough that like to justify continuing playing it. So it's like not one of the best cards in the deck, but its utility is really nice when it comes up. And then the last 2 monsters in the deck are Carboneddin and Galaxy Serpent. So basically, these are the reasons where if you open 3 level 3 monsters, 2 of them make Cherubini dumps Carboneddin, and then Carboneddin summons Galaxy Serpent, and that's the Ib combo. If you open Carboneddin, you can just dump Scrap Recycler, Ib searches World Legacy Succession, and then Succession revives Scrap Recycler. It's insanely broken. And that's all the monsters. It's 33. They'll probably get lower when I cut the Marauding Captains. So for spells, it's 6 spells and 1 trap, and they're all 1-ups. Babel, World Legacy Succession, you search it off for Ib. Foolish Burial, Virtue Teleport for the Wheelers, this card's nuts. Rhoda, this also was considered marked, which is weird because I've used this in previous events and never had a problem. But I'll cut it anyway just because I'm going to cut Marauding Captain. And at that point, my only warrior will be Junk Forward. Upstart Goblin, because in Hogan we trust. And Crescendo. I didn't want to play 2 of this just because it is not super great to draw. And I didn't really find myself ever needing the second one today.
Alright.
And that's the main deck, 40 cards. Extra deck. Ib, centerpiece of the deck. I think this is the best monster in the game right now. Borlo Savage, she gets you to him, and that's part of why she's so crazy. She generates so much advantage and she puts Savage on the board, and it's just insane. 2 Dingirsu. I don't ever really think I needed 3. I've thought about it sometimes in like really grindy Orcust mirrors, but that's the only instance where 3 has ever felt needed. But I definitely think it was fine. 3 Galatea. Third one did actually come up today, so I'm glad I played 3. Sometimes you just hit points where you just grind through all of them. Longirsu, this card is really nice. You end on this a lot more often now just because Bardish is banned, so it's very important to play him. Appaloosa, or Apollo Ursa as it's supposed to be pronounced, but Konami fucked up that translation. And also the card on the mat. This card is probably the MVP because one of the great things about Cherubini, aside from like starting the Ib combo, is that it gives you two arrows to work with. So a lot of the times, like I would just Cherubini do the Ib combo, or do the Ib combo, do the Mermaid combo, make Galatea, and then Galatea and Cherubini would make Appaloosa, and then it's only 1600 attack, but that's 2 monster negates backed up by Dingirsu, a counter trap, and probably a Borlo Savage Dragon. At that point, your opponent's probably just not gonna kill it. So yeah, this was wild. I'm really glad I played this, and I think that's where this idea started completely coming together. Is when I realized that Cherubini let me just basically put this on the board every single game. So yeah, it was wild. Boral Sword, I gained so many people with this today. He actually gained 1225 attack in the last round because I have a Gizmek Orochi. So he was at 4225 attack, and it was pretty nice. Cherubini, that card's insane. I'm glad I found something to play this card in, because I think this card is just asking to be banned with how good he is. And then the 4 Nightmares. I am definitely glad I played all 4 of them. Another good thing about Cherubini is that he makes Nightmare Unicorn really easy to summon. So just Nightmare Unicorn just being a generic removal is very useful. I played against a Pure Thunder deck somewhere in the middle of the tournament, and I like Unicorned one of his Colossus and then Dingears with the other Colossus and just swung for him. So that's the extra deck.
Right.
Side deck. 3 Ghost Ogre. I did not side this nearly as much as I thought I would, but I think that was just because I didn't run into as much combo as I thought I would. But this card's so incredibly versatile. It's good against anything running Guard Dragons. It's good against my version of the Orcust deck because you can pop Borlo Savage Dragon if I don't change Rocket. It's good against True Draco if I had run into it, and you can summon it off of Emergency Teleport, which is hilarious. I was also running Gamma before, but I switched it out. But you can also Gamma. You can summon Gamma with Emergency Teleport, but that's obviously really niche because E-Tele is at 1. But it's just something that's really cute. 3 Super Poly and 3 Super Poly targets. Somebody at Konami R&D decided that this card should be at 3, and I don't know why, because this card is super broken. I actually only think I resolved it once today. It was like once or twice, and it was for Dragostopelia. But it was absolutely nuts when I did resolve it, and it's just like, it's such a huge momentum swing that, I don't know, it's just wild. That being said, like, another thing when I got deck checked is that I didn't know that these have to be the same sleeves as everything else in my side deck. So like, I would kind of like try to be discreet when I was like switching out cards in my extra deck, even though it's like blatantly obvious I'm siding Super Poly. But if I have to switch the sleeves out every time, it's just, it wastes so much time, and it's super telegraphed that I'm playing Super Poly that I don't know if I'll play this moving forward. But the card's just so absurdly powerful when it resolves that I'll probably still consider it. But yeah, I sided these in plenty of times. Only summoned Dragostopelia. I didn't run into the any Salamandra race, but I'm glad I had Violet in there anyway. 3 Twin Twisters for back row hate. I'm really good at opening this against Sky Striker. And 3 Impermanents. I wish I mained this. This card was absolutely insane. Even going first, so the thing I like about Orcust is that despite the fact that if I open enough extenders, I just open a really broken board, I can make a play with like 2 cards. So drawing this card, it doesn't conflict with any of the dangers or any of the other combo plays I'm playing, so I can set it and then do my full play, and that's like almost as good as just having a Borlo Savage Dragon. And that just definitely came up. A lot of the times I just keep this card in going first. So yeah, that was the entire deck. It was super broken.
Excellent, man. All right. Any closing thoughts or ideas? Shoutouts?
Call by the Grave sucks. This deck is really broken. I still firmly believe a lot of people are approaching Orcust the wrong way. I think when you approach it as a combo deck, as opposed to a like mid-range deck, I think it becomes a lot more broken and a lot more powerful than anything the game has right now. And I think like moving forward, you can probably find a way to play around like Nibiru and everything. Shout outs to every single person at this table who are all really good friends of mine. Jacoby, Gabe, John, Matt, Chuck, Ed, Peter. I'm really tired, I'm sorry. Peter for recording, for helping me test all the time, every day, for also getting your invite. You went X2-1, right?
Yep.
You played Orcust, but you played a different build. You should play this build.
Probably right.
But you helped me with so many ideas and tell me what's good, what's bad. You were helping me like last night. Shout outs to Road to the King. Read that book. And
What would you cut for the impermanence?
what would I cut in the main for impermanence?
Yeah.
Marauding Captain would go out. The Rhoda would go with the Marauding Captain, and then that would either become the Psychic Tracker, or it would become Gizmek Orochi, because there were a couple times where I could have just pushed for game harder with Orochi, so I'm considering that. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I probably have to approach things differently when we get into Nibiru, or just do the exact same thing. I don't know. But yeah, super happy. 12 years, finally got my top 8 at a regional.
It's great, man. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.